So the king in the middle, he has like a spear in his hand, kind of like a sword, but I don't see it at the bottom. And then he has a world in his hand, his right hand. Whether it's a crystal ball or he has the whole world in his hand. The second one in, the top of her hair, her headdress, it's actually a serpent at the top that she's holding onto. The thread of it looks like a serpent. And then there's a, I don't know, maybe that's SJD right there, that guy. And he's getting beat down by the first person he sees. And the king's not even phased. He's not even looking in his direction because the serpent's on his ass too. So that guy's not wanted up there, if you can't tell. They're all Rockying it up. And look at that, Rocky. You got people worshiping you, running up the steps. First thing they think of is Rocky. That's so cool. You got that name for yourself. Rocky. The Rock. And you're even over here. Doesn't this look like Bathsheba? Like if the water was running? Fancy 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8-pointed star. I guess when you go in there. It says enlightenment on it now. I don't know if I've seen that before. Tourist attraction. Hypodermic needle all the way down the end. Who would ever know that there's a RFID chip down there at Love Park when you look at it from up above Google Earth. And what does it matter anyway? Who cares? Apparently I care, and other people care to show things for me to show it back. It's like show and tell. Now Jacob said show and tell. I believe you said it was October 31st, 2022. 10 days after Harold Camping's World. Show and tell. What could that mean? Because it's Halloween, so people are going to be wearing masks on Halloween. They could be dressing up as other people, trying to look like somebody else. But they could do that in a realistic mask. And you can really actually fool people. But you just gotta wait 10 days. A bunch of trailers down here. I guess they're setting up another event. It reminds me of the doors when you just go down to the depths and then it'll just open up and it'll be glass doors like that to the next dimensional area underground. So the slogan is, your path to success starts here. And he basically blew a red light. It's not a good path to start. Look. We're so glad you're here. Wearing a mask is optional while visiting. That's the correct sign, and that's what I was asking for from the very beginning when they put up those ridiculous signs. And I had to go in stores and get the cops called on me in order to try to prove a point. There's nothing I can do but get locked up. So I proved my point, but I didn't have to get it. I didn't have to get locked up on that day. But at least I proved that there was no way of getting around it. Because it's like even though the word must is still the same as ought to. So if you ought to do something, it just means that it's something you should do, you know, according to the reason why you ought to do it. But that's the correct sign. And of course it should have been up in the first place, but that's not the way it works. By design, it was that way to number the people, to see who, it's like a census. See who is going to comply and how far do they take it. So twice I took it to the cops at the store, one at Acme, one at ShopRite. Nothing ever came about it. They dropped the cases. But I enjoyed doing all the research of the laws and everything. And on top of that, you can't make me wear a mask and you can't make me do anything. I just won't participate in the reindeer games if I'm not allowed to join them. Because everything has a time, the timing of everything. Everything ends. Hare Camping warned us about May 21st, 2011. So we're 11 years later, and we're in the middle of a 5-month period. And in the 5-month period, you know those scorpions that are from the bottomless pit, the ones that work for God, they themselves can cause people to be stung just by watching their videos and seeing what are they talking about? Like what's the topics that these channels are talking about? And then who's their feature guest, like who they put on, who they talk about the most. So Elon Musk is a big topic these days. The spark of life. So this is what Satan told you. And then if you did, well, the other portion would be over there, and this top piece would be thrown over here. And it's a 3-way prong. If you touch, you shall die. So when the Bible is talking about thou shalt not touch, it was misinterpreted purposely. It's not a dam, but it's a waterfall. Hey, Jesus, come here, come here. Here, come here, buddy. I want to show you something. Head up here. This can all be yours. Come here, come here, come here, buddy, come here. Yeah, just right over here. Look, here's the deal. If you want all of this, cast yourself down and let the angels catch you, lest you dash your foot against a stone. Hey, Jesus, come here. Let me take you to a pinnacle. The pinnacle of the city. Can all be yours. You know, the swamp water and everything. All you gotta do is worship me. That's all you gotta do. Just bow down and worship. Worship William. Waterworks. Huh, Robin, you sure? You sure? Can all be yours. Nah, I'm alright, Enlil. Or it's NL. Like N, and L. This place is still chained off with the balance. Maybe because things aren't balanced yet, so it still needs to, until things are balanced out, it'll be locked down. No rock climbing. I could have swore that there was a chain somewhere that you can look down and it was by itself broken from a hilltop. It's the rebirth and renewal of how water works. In honor Ernesta Drinker Ballard? What, like an alcoholic drinker? the moving force behind it all. Fairmount Waterworks till 9/11. Yeah, the marriage hasn't happened yet. It's more like an engagement trial period. Between woman and man. Because what's an engagement? It's something that it's like a trial period. You're engaged to be with somebody. And if it works out, then there becomes a marriage. But a lot of marriages fail. But that's because being unconverted in the beginning, one or the other, unequally yoked, it causes problems. So that's basically how the water works. It needs to flow consistently, clearly. No blockage, no dam. And it's got to be crisp to the taste when you're drinking it. Other than that, it's like sour grapes. I was going to just say SJD, but I was thinking of something else to say, clever, but I didn't come up with anything. It could be bitter wine. Because that's like how Mary, when she crossed over the Jordan River, remember that? Mary was betrothed to marry Joseph. And then Rebecca, same thing with Isaac. And then Jesus, same thing with the church. So that's in spirit. And then it's the same thing. In spirit, Christ married to the church. But then Isaac and Rebecca. So that's something that was also planned out. You go to a well. So the Holy Spirit is in charge of finding the wife. Now, in reality, the Holy Spirit isn't even a person. It's the Spirit that comes from, it can come from somebody, but the Spirit itself is what, it's like it doesn't have control over you unwillingly, because you give your control over to it. And then you can, same thing can happen to other people combined together. And it's that spirit that you follow. And that's what you can do. If you're truly looking for a marriage to actually last, it has to be a match made in heaven. you know, on earth or even in hell. It could be a match made in heaven between hell and earth. A match made in heaven between two different spirits. One of them above ground, the other one below ground. And the match is made in heaven, because in heaven is where the Holy Spirit communicates through those that are in the heavenly realm. There's always going to be trials of trying to fulfill something that was already fulfilled. Trying to create something, trying to mimic something that was already created. You see that sign? It says, I was born in 76, Robin Hood Dell, which is across the street from the art museum over there. So apparently there's a Dell up there. I still never found it though. Oh look, I'm not alone. LA, URL. Laurel Hill Cemetery.